Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. A very good afternoon to all the viewers. An interesting day of trade is what we are seeing in terms of where markets go. Overall, if you see Nifty 50 as well, trying to inch towards 19,200 mark. It's at a high of 19,196.75. So just that first immediate resistance level is what we are tracking, though we are at the day's highest levels as we speak right now. Gains coming in on an M&M, Infosys, Indocent, Hero Motor, as well as a Sun Pharma. Whereas you have Adani Ports, which is under pressure, Apollo Hospitals, DV Slab, as well as a Grasim, which is under in trade. To discuss more as to what's in store, we have Nilesh Jain, Head AVP at Centrum Broking, joining in. Nilesh, good afternoon and welcome to the show. Good day for the markets overall. In fact, the week seems to be interesting. We've started the expiry also on a strong footing.
Very good afternoon, Hiral. Absolutely. The series has begun on a very strong note. We have seen a good amount of rollover data from the June series expiry. And the way the new series has begun, I think the momentum is looking very strong and it looks like we are heading towards 19,500 mark or maybe beyond that. But looking at the recent momentum that we have seen in last 4 consecutive sessions, I believe one should wait for some sort of a meaningful decline to make a fresh entry in the market. But overall, as I mentioned, the structure looks very strong for 90,500.
Right. So with this, 19,500 is what we're looking at. How is the FI? What is the FI data indicating? Because they have been net long as well. Starting this series, is that giving us some more predictability?
Absolutely. See, a couple of months back, we have seen a lot of short build-up from the FII. The long to short ratio was stood at 8% at one point of time. Now the long to short ratio has jumped to 66%. So clearly, it looks like the FIIs have gone aggressively buyer in last 2 months. And looking at the momentum from the FIIs, the way they are buying, I think we might see further buying to pump further FIIs money to pump into the Indian equity market going forward as well. As far as historical data is concerned, July has been one of the outperformer months as far as history is concerned. And looking at the overall derivative data as well, we believe that going forward, 19,500 and maybe we might see the levels of 90,700 as well.
Right. So that's with regards to where Nifty goes. Moving on, if you see in terms of Bank Nifty, what's the indication that we are picking up so far from the levels that we are tracking? Because if you see in terms of Bank Nifty, we've seen right now we are above that 44,500 mark. In fact, we already hit a high of 44,600 and above. Where are we seeing support, and what is that resistance level?
As you rightly mentioned, 44,500 was acting as a major resistance zone that has been already been cleared. Now that will act as an immediate support. We are expecting 45,000 mark in the spot level. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday we might see those levels. But as far as July series is concerned, we expect Bank Nifty to move towards 46,000 sort of zone. And looking at the couple of index heavyweight private sector bank charts of ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and also IndusInd Bank, where the structure continues to remain on a positive side, we believe that Bank Nifty is likely to lead the rally from here on and move towards 45,500 to 46,000 zone.
Right, so that's with regards to where overall Bank Nifty goes as well. Let's look at individual counters now. How is HDFC Bank and HDFC panning out? Because crucial movements expected there as well. Overall, what is the option data indicating?
Our data are certainly quite on a positive side. Out of these two, we are getting more comfort on HDFC Limited. This particular counter has outperformed in the June series, where it was up more than 6%, whereas the HDFC Bank, if you look at that particular counter, which was up close to 4 to 5%. But overall, the structure-wise, HDFC Limited is looking quite promising at current level as well. We believe that it is likely to move towards the 2,900 sort of mark on immediate basis. Post merger, we need to see the what kind of a price that it get listed. But as of now, looking at the individual counters on individual basis, I think HDFC Limited looks quite strong for 2,900 to 2,950 sort of targets.
Right. Apart from that, how are you looking at India Bulls Housing Finance as well as M&M Financial Services? How are they looking on the charts?
It is not comparable to both the counters because one is having a good fundamental, which is Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, which is trading at almost 52-week high. In fact, it is trading at all-time high levels. Constantly, we are witnessing a high top and high bottom formation. The structure looks very strong, and I believe any decline, if at all we get in this particular counter, can be a good opportunity to make a fresh entry to move for a move towards 350 to 360 on the upside, whereas support is placed at 320. On the other hand, if you look at the India Bull Housing Finance, a lot of volatility we have seen. The major structure, although looks slightly on a weaker side, but we can expect the pullback to continue. Pullback may extend towards 130 to 135. And remember, it's purely a pullback trade and not a trend reversal as of now. One can keep a stop loss below 160.
Right. How is MCX looking like? What is FNO data indicating on an MCX, Nilesh?
Data have turned slightly on a negative side. We have seen a lot of short build-up today post news, and looking at the gap down opening that we have seen, it is facing a constant resistance at the high levels. And looking at the structure, it looks like we might see a further round of selling pressure going forward. But as of now, if somebody is already holding the long position, can keep a stop loss below 1450 and wait for a pullback towards 1550 to 1580. That could be a good opportunity to make a exit as of now. So we are not advising to initiate any fresh long position in this particular counter till the price settle down.
Right. Few of the other names which are seeing a long build up in today's session, specifically from the banking space, you have the likes of a PNB as well as a Federal Bank. Even Bandhan Bank is looking pretty strong. What is your view?
Out of all the names that you have just highlighted, Bandhan Bank is certainly indicating a trend reversal. We have seen a constant decline from the levels of 271, and currently it has reached 241 levels. The pullback may extend towards 251 to 255, and one can keep a stop loss below 232. And this particular trade can be initiated from a pullback point of view, wherein if you look at the PSU banking space, where we have seen a lot of underperformance in the June series, I think July series could be a good one for the PSU banking space. Watch out for Canara Bank, BOB, and State Bank of India specifically. So these are the few counters that are looking positive on the chart. And Federal Bank, where we have seen a constant decline post quarterly numbers, these particular counters have underperformed. But looking at today's strong reversal, I think this pullback may extend towards 130 to 132. One can keep a stop loss below 120.
Right. Nilesh, from the cement pack, you have a Ambuja Cement as well as a India Cement. Both these counters are seeing some bit of a short build up in position in today's session. What should the strategy be?
See, out of all the cement space, one particular counter I would like to reiterate that we are liking is Ultradex Cement. So, Ultradex Cement is one that is looking on a positive side and can be bought on declines for the upside target of 8500 to 8600. Wherein the other names that you have just highlighted, that is Ambuja Cement and India Cement. We have seen a strong momentum in Ambuja Cement in the month of June series. But looking at the recent correction, it looks like we might see further drop towards 420 to 410 in a very short term. So it is better to avoid taking any contraband for the time being till time we see any sort of a trend reversal in this particular counter. For the time being, it's an avoid, and Ultradex Cement can be bought on declines.
Right, so that's with regards to where Ultratech Cement goes. Let's look at few of the counters which are seeing some long unwinding in today's session. Specifically, you have the likes of a PFC. What would the strategy be?
PFC and REC, both the counters have outperformed in the previous series, where it was up more than 18%. And today, although we are witnessing some amount of profit booking at the high levels, but it is not a trend reversal. It is merely a profit booking. And if at all we see any correction towards 210 to 200, that could be again that may provide an opportunity to make a fresh entry for the upside target of 220 to 225. But I think it's merely a profit booking, not a trend reversal.
Right. Nilesh, two names, Wipro as well as Infosys from the IT pack are seeing short covering in today's session. What are trends suggesting?
Certainly, IT have witnessed a strong trend reversal in today's trading session. In fact, last couple of weeks, we have seen a good amount of base formation, and this particular sector has been one of the underperformer across all these space that we have seen. And looking at the recovery in the US market, I think IT stocks are likely to do well. Specifically, we are liking Infosys at current level for the upside move towards 1400. Currently, it is trading at 1337. One can keep a stop loss below 1290 and can make a fresh entry for the upside target of 1400 to 1420. Wipro, out of these two, I think more comfort we are getting in Infosys rather than Wipro. But Wipro, I think the pullback may extend towards 395 to 400. Out of all the IT counters, we are liking Infosys, TCL, SCL Tech. So these are the few names that we are suggesting to our clients to add in the portfolio from little longer term perspective.
Right. So that's with regards to where the names that we've discussed specifically from IT go. Nilesh, any other topics that you have, which should be on our radar?
Right. So we are liking auto space as a whole. So out of all the auto stocks that we are liking, Maruti is looking very promising at current level as well. Today we have seen a fresh breakout, and it is likely to move towards that 10,000 figure mark. And post then we can expect a move towards 10,400 to 10,500. So structure wise, Maruti is looking positive. One can keep a stop loss below 9,600. Target comes around 10,000 and 10,200. The other name that we are liking is L&T. Today it has hit a fresh all-time high, and we have seen a fresh breakout from a consolidation as well. The upside is open for 2550 to 2600. One can keep a stop loss below 2440. So these are the few counters that we are liking, and overall we believe that Nifty Auto, Nifty FMCG, and Nifty IT are maybe the outperformer for the July series.
Right. So that's with regards to where markets are concerned overall. Thank you, Nilesh, so much for joining us on the show and sharing those views. Clearly, 19,500 is what we're tracking, as well as Nilesh has mentioned as so far. And participation from bank is something which is crucial. IT is also seeing a reversal in trend, at least in today's session. Whether that is going to be sustainable or not is something that we need to wait and watch. But clearly, if you see in terms of Nifty as well, we're seeing a close pretty much close to the 19,200 mark, but it seems it will be a miss. We did hit a 19,201.7 in intraday trade so far, and the markets have scaled with some good moves. If you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, it's underperformed the benchmark indices, but still gains of little over 400 points coming in there. And we've managed to close somewhere in that range of 44,700 is what we will be looking at. If you see the advanced decline ratio as well, 10 advances on Bank Nifty, whereas 2 declines coming in there. And if you see in terms of the Sensex, that's going to be an interesting pack to watch out for, because 64,700 is what we're eyeing, a 780 point up move coming in terms of the Sensex. And if you see in terms of stocks, JK Tire on the expansion plan, a 14% up move coming in on that one. Biocon, Shilpa Medicare, a few of the other names which are seeing some strong moves. South Indian Bank, 8.5% kind of an up move. On the losing end, MCX, which is around 8 to 9%, is what we've seen. Apart from that, Bharat Electronics received an order worth around 2,200 odd crores. On the back of it, some moves came in on that one. And you have Sriram Finance, Kalpataru Power, Credit Access Grameen, Reliance Capital, Easy Trip Planners. These were a few of the stocks that were the movers and shakers in trade today. But clearly, a strong start to the July series is what we've seen. And the trend looks optimistic. That's what analysts are indicating. But the next hurdle on Nifty 50 is the 19,500 mark that we should be watching out for from here on. But before that, 19,200 again becomes a crucial one as well. But the target is 19,500, as Nilesh was mentioning. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.